Hello, everyone. Welcome to MSI Music Scene Investigation. Once again, Rich Wildman here. I'll be your host today. You can tell the host from the glare on the forehead. Don't let it fool you. If anybody's trying to imitate it or match it, I don't think they have a chance.
I done well that time. Come on.
Pardon me?
I done well that time on MSI Spy.
Well, yeah, you kind of sort of did, but no contest here today, pal.
Well, I think I look like you.
Yeah. Anybody, can you tell the difference, everybody? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but I haven't got the skull cap on now, have I? When I had the skull cap on, it was it was almost a perfect match.
No, if I could do a half screen on you and a half screen on me and match them up, I think people would still be able to tell the difference.
Yeah, obviously I'm the younger, good-looking one, but...
Yeah, okay. Let's stop this craziness right here. You're tuned into Music Scene Investigation, not I Am Your Arch Nemesis. That's on a different channel. And Music Scene Investigation, for those who don't know, is a show where we bring in music industry experts to review indie artists from around the world. They submit their music to us, and we put it in front of our panel and let our panel review it after hearing it one time. They have no idea what the song is they're going to hear or who the song is by. They hear it and offer their immediate, unbiased, and honest review about the song. It's a real easy concept. We certainly hope if you're an indie artist that you participate and take advantage of it, because we do it for you and it's free. You can't beat that, no matter how you slice it. So let me introduce our panelists today. On a side note, Tom Chianti unfortunately can't be with us today, because he's in hospital. He's a little ill, under the weather, and in hospital today, so we wish him well. Certainly hope that he is back on his feet and back with us next week on Music Scene Investigation. And if he's not, maybe we'll all join him in the hospital and just do a big kumbaya or something like that. But first of all, let me introduce Ian Husbands. In London, England, Ian is with us today, and we're happy about that because last week he wasn't feeling well. Ian, welcome back. I'm glad you're feeling better.
Thank you very much. No more puking on the show. That's always a good start, isn't it?
Yeah, as long as you don't have a big bowl beside you, you're doing good.
Not this week. No, I have a cup of coffee and a Jack Daniels and a drop of water. So that's my poison for this week. Back to my old self.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
So, I'd just like to wish Tom very good luck. He's actually not in hospital. He's actually out fighting a battle to defend the small African kingdom that he rules.
Really?
Allegedly.
I did not know this. He I actually saw him in a conference call he and I had. He called me from the hospital via video conference, as he's wont to do because he loves to show off. And he looked like he was in hospital. It didn't look like he was in Africa at all.
They were just putting his exoskeleton on for him so he can go out on the battlefield and fight with futuristic weapons that don't exist.
I gotcha. I didn't know he ran the CIA as well. That's good to know.
But he's the president of a small African nation. He's got access to all that sort of stuff.
Makes perfect sense now that you mention it. I'm glad you did. Also want you to mention, if you could, the stats from last week's broadcast, if you would. We had 3 tracks on. The Harmonic Generator, Sanger, and Steamy providing the music from last week. How'd they fare by the witness statements?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag, actually, last week. I mean, generally, our audience did agree with us that Harmonic Generator were the band to be. But on songwriting, it was a 50-50 split between Harmonic Generator and Sanger with I Don't Want to Love You. Don't want your love. Don't want you love? Whatever it was called. That song. That was a 50-50 split on the songwriting. They narrowly beat them on best performance with 67% of the votes. And they only got 50% of the votes for mix and production, but that was also split between song 2 and song 3. So they won it on that as well.
So it, as you said, was a half and half kind of thing, pretty much.
Yeah, mixed bag, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps us honest here, and hopefully everybody enjoys it.
And it was a unanimous decision by the panel, so it's nice to see that the audience don't always agree.
Yeah, that's very true. And in fact, that's the point of the witness statements, is to make sure that we get everyone's feedback and are able to present that out to let everybody know how right or how wrong you guys were compared to what they thought.
Indeed.
So that's good to know. All right, let's go ahead and introduce our guest panelist today. We actually have two, a surprise, the first time we've done it on Music Scene Investigation, and we're happy to welcome them both. We have the whole of Butterflies Radio here, the whole management owner team. We've got both. We've got both of them, believe it or not. We had to wake Carol up a little bit early, but that's okay. And we'll talk to her in a second. But first of all, let's talk with Mark Lamdanski from down in Hollywood, Florida. Hey, Mark, how are you?
Yo, I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing real good.
Good.
You still got a little bit of that East Coast accent going, you know.
It's that Jersey thing. You know, I left Jersey when I was 11, but I kept the accent just in case.
They
You
normally
can take the boy out of Jersey, but you can't take Jersey out of the boy, is what you're saying.
You're damn right.
and normally they don't let you keep the accent.
That's true, but I smuggle it out. You know, they don't check, 11-year-old kids, at the airport. I could keep my shoes on, and I took it with me.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. We also have Carol Riordan with us. Carol, welcome back.
Thank you.
Now,
My camera's not too good, but I look a bit pixelated, like a ghost.
That's okay.
Ooh.
For those that don't know, Carol is all the way down in Australia, and
But she's British.
Yeah, what's that up?
Yes.
What's up with that?
British by birth, and an Aussie. I chose to be an Aussie, so yeah, bit of both.
So
When you say chose to be an Aussie, you obviously committed a crime and we shipped you out there on a boat.
I did, yes. Never looked back, Ian.
let's
And Ian, I'm so glad that I like your T-shirt, by the way, Ian. I used to be a marshal, so it's good that you're supporting me. Yeah, you must have worn it on purpose.
And British music as well. It's a good emblem for British music.
Yes, absolutely.
So with you now, since we have both of you on from Butterflies Radio, who's actually managing the store now that the cat's away, Mark?
Well, speaking of which, the cat is actually here. She's right behind me on the chair. So she's busy doing exactly what I do for the station, as you can see.
Yeah, that's right. That's about what
That's
Mark
about
does.
it.
Yeah.
No, the station runs itself when Carol and I are not available to look it over. But thank goodness for spatial audio. Otherwise, we'd be in trouble. But do I get paid for that? By the way,
You'll have to take that up with spatial audio, I suppose. I couldn't tell you. So you guys, talking about Butterflies Radio, I every week tell everybody about Twitter Tuesday Live. You guys do this show. You solicit people to join you on Twitter, which I do, and you give them shout outs. You talk back and forth on Twitter with them on the air and off the air, which is a great thing. But you guys have some amazing indie artists stop by every week, spend a couple of hours with you. Let me ask you a question regarding that. I don't think I've ever brought this up, but where did the idea for Twitter Tuesday Live come from?
That was actually Mark's idea.
Yeah, it actually started. It did not start as a dual host and guest show. It originally just started because I wanted to present my favorite music that we had on the rotation, and at the way back at the beginning, it was just me talking about the bands that I liked and playing their music, and that was it. There was no. I interacted somewhat with some of the listeners. It wasn't until I guess a few months after we started the show that I said to Carol, I need you on here with me, and so then it was Carol and I. We did this together. And finally, one day we said, we really should have guests come on the show, and it worked out really well. Our first guest was Jesse Abraham, really good Jewish rap star out of New York, and it went over so well, and people loved it so much that we decided that's it. That's what we're doing every week. We're bringing on a new guest. We had people lined up for 6 months waiting to come onto the show. Now we're doing it. We've narrowed it down to a 3-month period. We only book 3 months out in advance now, but we have a waiting list that is huge. And they love it. We love it. We have a great time doing it. And, and now that we have this huge listenership, we get over 25,000 listeners a week. People are just clamoring to get on the show.
No, and I understand that, but I think one of the reasons that people clamor to get on the show, not to steal your thunder, Mark, but I got to be honest, it's because of Carol and the dreaded desert island question.
That's it.
That's funny.
And wouldn't you agree with that, Carol? I mean, it's not Mark's sparkling personality; it's all you, right?
Oh, it is. It's all me. Absolutely. He's just a technical guy, and I'm the person that actually runs the show. I give him a script every week that he has to read. He's going to slap me for this. I just know, but it's true. It's true. And anyway, so it's a really, really fun show. We love doing it, and like Mark said, we're pretty booked up. Well, I'm actually got guests till the end of August now booked, and we've got a huge waiting list. But and we'll have to have you guys back on again.
I was just going to say, we've been waiting over a year, and I know that we're on the end of that list someplace, but that's okay.
The thing is, we have to get Ian up. He's going to have to be up at like some unearthly time, like 2:00 in the morning, I think. But if I have to get up early for this, I'm sure Ian can do it. Get up at 2:00 in the morning.
I don't know. What do you think, Ian?
You know my rider for shows like that, Rich.
Yeah, I know.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Carol.
Yes, Ian.
If you were stuck on a desert island, what 3 objects would you take with you?
Thank you
I knew you were just going to say that. I'm trying to avoid this. I was going to change.
Come on. I think this is the famous question, but I don't know if anyone's ever heard answers from you guys, so I think it's about time we put that to the test.
That's a good point.
Well, I would take. Let me think. Oh, you put me right. I've never really thought about it.
Now, while Carol is thinking, Mark, be sure to put your thinking cap on because you're next.
Am I? Oh boy.
Yeah.
I know I would take my set of tarot cards, definitely, because I'd have to I could look at my tarot cards and see when I'm going to be rescued. So, bit of insight. I would take,
false hope.
I would probably take a pen and a notepad because I am an old-fashioned person who, I don't really see it, I love to write things down. See?
And who, as it says on her Skype biography, she reads philosophy and studies botany. And she won't speak with anyone beneath her or my or whatever. She apparently studying grammar's right out though, Carol.
But still, being a keen botanist.
I'll tell you what I can do. Yeah, well, I do love gardening. I'll tell you what I could do on this desert island. Right, I could use my time to actually practice my spelling and my grammar.
Or just write a new Skype biography.
Yeah.
whilst
going back to this
botany
question, I was going to change it. I was going to change the desert island question, and then I thought no, because it is really popular, and we do have a lot of fun, and we've had some really funny answers. I mean, the best one was Spaceship Days. Chuck, he said he was going to take a teleporter, which I thought was so clever.
It's very innovative.
No one has ever thought of a teleporter before, which is brilliant.
It was hard to beat Kiva's answer, but I think I think that was pretty good.
Yeah.
So, same question to you, Mark. If you were stuck on a desert island, what 3 objects would you take with you?
Pretty simple, actually. But first, if it's okay, I'd like to just say hi to Diana from Suede Management, who's in the chat room there. So, hey, Diana, it's great to see you.
Hi, Diana. Oh,
hi, Diana.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, that comes with Twitter Tuesday Live. It's just a habit. If I see someone out there, I got to say hi. It's really simple. A gun and 2 bullets. There you go. Just in case the first one misses.
That's depressing, Mark. That's so depressing.
Well, I'm sorry. If I'm stuck on a desert island alone, I don't know what the heck. I'm a very sociable person. I need my technology. I got to be with other people. I've got to be talking. I've got to be listening to music. If I'm going to be there, stuck
it's
on an island,
me, isn't it, Mark? Me. Same old.
All right, so let me ask you this before we get into the reason we're here today. If there are indie artists out there listening today or fans listening, tell us how the artists can get on Twitter Tuesday Live or have their music played on Butterflies Radio. And also let anyone who would like to listen to the station know where they can find it on the web and actually listen in.
Me. Okay. I didn't realize you were...
Either one of you, yeah.
Carol, the camera pointed at me, so I'm happy to do it. Carol, unless you want to take it. I'll tell you what, I'll take that question. That Carol will take the who can be on, how to get on Twitter Tuesday Live. I'll take the, what was the other question?
Is if there are people listening out there, how can they get and hear Butterflies Radio and listen to Twitter Tuesday Live?
You can hear Butterflies Radio and listen to Twitter Tuesday Live from just about anywhere, from your phone, from your iPad. We're on iTunes. We're on TuneIn. We have our own app, which you can find at our website. We go to butterfliesradio.com. Radio loyalty. If you're into earning points for listening to radio, you can log on through our radio loyalty link and earn points that way. There's no excuse why you cannot tune in to Butterflies Radio or to Twitter Live.
Someone out there is wanting to know if indeed you're everywhere, can they hear you in a conch shell?
Yes, you can if you stick the iPhone in there first.
All right, well that's fair enough. All right,
and obviously there is one good excuse for not tuning into Butterflies Radio.
Let me guess, because they're tuned into MSI.
Hey.
Oh.
All right, Carol, if a band out there happens to be watching MSI right now and they want to be a part of Twitter Tuesday Live or have their music on Butterflies Radio, how do they do that?
Okay, well, to get on Twitter Tuesday Live, we have a few rules that we like the bands to adhere to, and that is they have to have 3 good songs on our rotation, and so that we can present it on the show. Because what we do, we have a special format. We present 3 of their songs, and then in between their songs we present other independent artists, all who are on our rotation. So we give everybody a clear shot of the show. So they have to have 3 good songs, and they have to be able to talk. There is nothing worse, as you know, doing a show when it's one-sided, and the last thing we want while we're live on the air is dead air, and it's so hard. If we've had a couple like that, and Mark will vouch for me. I'm not naming any names, but some of them have been really hard work.
All right.
So we ask that you can talk, and most importantly, you're on there to have fun. Although you're on there to promote your music, but we like to be you to have fun on the show, and a good sense of humor does help and makes for a brilliant show. And as Mark said, we get lots of viewers, lots of listeners, and it is syndicated on several different stations. So if it's a great show, yours will be aired. And if you go to our website, there is a list on the right-hand side that says Twitter Tuesday Live. It explains about the show. And it also gives you a link that you can put all your details on. And once a week, I check that to see if there's any new people wanting to come on the show. But I will stress that there is a very long list, as I said before.
All right.
So
that makes perfect sense. Now, I do want to let everyone in the audience know that Twitter Tuesday Live is on Butterflies Radio. Thus, it's an audio show. Had one person in the audience want to know if they could wear gorilla suits on Twitter Tuesday Live. So,
well, Mark usually wears a mask every single week, but luckily we're not on video, so you can't really see what he wears.
That's all I wear, just the mask.
That's what I've heard. That's what we've heard. All right, let's get down to what we're here to do today, everyone. We're here to take and review music from indie artists around the world, and I want to do that today. So if we can, let's go ahead and get everybody listening to song number 1 on today's music scene investigation. Here it is, everyone. This is song number 1. Certainly hope you enjoy it. And that's song number 1 on today's MSI. And let's go over to Ian, find out what he thought about the first track. Ian, what are your thoughts there?
Okay, there's a start of something working here. But I think it's all a little safe. Everything's safe. The performance is the safe. The mix is safe. There's no real sort of dynamic lift. There's no sort of push to make you sort of want to listen for a full 4.5 minutes. The first thing I would do with this is cut a minute off it. But have your middle eight, finish on a double chorus, job done, instead of going back into a verse and then onwards. Just keep it short. A song like this that's not dynamically changing dramatically, you know, you need to cut it off before people get bored. And I found myself getting a little bit bored after the sort of 3.5 minute, 4 minute part. Mix I found was very bright, especially the guitars, the acoustics. Too bright. It was too. I mean, there's a lot of string noise on that acoustic coming through, and there was a stereo separation of two clean guitars, one just sort of hitting chords and one sort of playing a little sort of riff, and they were too separated. They were too obvious, and that was quite distracting as the song went on. I found that. Vocals were a little set back. I mean, I liked the voice. It was a little bit pitchy in places, especially going into that middle eight, but you know, it just stayed on that one level. Dynamically, really didn't sort of change. And I wanted to hear a bit more oomph and a bit more drive into that vocal. Give it more performance. Don't just sit there on that sort of... It got a bit dreary, to be honest, is the best way to put it. The performances across all, I thought, were very safe. The drums and the bass, they didn't really do much interesting. They just sort of plodded along. And the guitars were playing pretty much the same parts as they went through. The lead guitar was nice. I found the sound of it a touch brittle. I wanted to feel it hit a bit warmer, a bit more affected, you know, it's a bit more deeper reverb or something like that. As opposed to the rest of the mix, which I thought, I don't know, there was too much going on effects-wise. All the chorus and the sort of phasing on the guitars, panned left and right, and it needs a lot of work. The mix needs cleaning up. Dynamics need to be added. Something more going into that chorus, even if it's just some string beds or something, just to sort of feel the sound and bring it up a level. More layering on the vocal harmonies. A stronger hook in the chorus as well. I felt the chorus, there was a lift there, but it just didn't sort of catch me. And again, lyrically, I found it all a bit cliche. It's all been done before.
All right, Ian, I appreciate your thoughts on that. Let's go over to Mark, find out what he thought. Mark from Butterflies Radio. Mark, your thoughts.
I should have recorded what Ian said because he pretty much said everything I thought.
You know what? I am recording it, so I'll give it to you after the show.
You know, go to Carol and you can clip it in right here. Just edit it in. Yeah. When the song first started, I was like, "Oh, this is cute," you know. And then the vocals came in, and I'm like, "Okay." And then it just was going and going, and there was no, I don't know, the hook was lacking. It wasn't grabbing me. It was just as Ian said. After like the third minute, I was like, "All right, I think it's probably time to end this song." I heard the pitching, the pitchiness in the voice as well. I wish I could add on to what he said because I know that I realize I'm repeating it, but we both heard exactly the same things as far as the song itself goes. The mix I can't talk too much about since that's not my specialty, but I would add this song to the rotation if it was shortened a little bit and they could fix up that hook a little bit, make it more interesting.
All right, Mark, I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's go to your partner in crime, Carol Riordan at Butterflies Radio. Carol, what is your take on track number one?
Well, I actually had problems with the audio list. It actually stopped halfway through. I think that's why my camera's not working. My bandwidth today is not very good, unfortunately. I did catch most of it. I thought it was a very easy listening track. I quite liked it. It sounds very familiar. In fact, it sounds almost like Matter of Fact, which we have on our rotation. I agree with Ian in the lyrics. They need to come to the front a bit more. I found they were sitting, a bit behind the other instruments. The drumming, I love the drums. I think they could have, yeah. I think Mark's right. They could put a bit more oomph to the track, but I liked it overall. I thought it was a good track, and I like the lyrics. It's about a long distance relationship, and she obviously loves him still, and she wants to get back together. And yeah, to me, it's a nice little story. And I love the guitar solo towards the end. Well, not solo, but the guitar bit towards the end. And yeah, I quite liked it. I think Mark's right. We would add it to the rotation if it was a little bit shorter. I think 4 minutes for a radio song is a little bit long, but I enjoyed the track.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Carol. Appreciate that.
Romantic you.
Yeah, they are romantic. Yeah, so that's what it is. That song is called Something from Deemlo. We appreciate their sending that track into Music Scene Investigation. Now, before we get to the next song, I want to take an opportunity to congratulate our hit list winner from last month. The Getaway Car with their track Some won the hit list. And the only way you can get to the hit list is to go through the labs, which is what we're doing right now. Your song has to get that selected Song of the Week selection. So if you can't make it through here, there's no way you can make it through the hit list. And we got another one coming up next month. So you want to get your songs in to be a part of that. All right, guys, we have 2 more tracks to listen to, so let's get to it. And track number 2, let's see how that works for everyone right now. This is track number 2 on Music Scene Investigation. Hope you enjoy it. That's track number 2 on today's music scene investigation. We're going to go straight over to Mark, find out his thoughts on this one. Mark, what do you think of track number 2?
That was a great song. I really enjoyed that one a lot. I had that. What a voice she had, and it sounded, in parts a bit U2-esque. I see Pinky mentioned, the edge on guitar. Yeah, I heard that as well. It grabbed me. I love that one. The one thing that I don't know, just my opinion, I kind of didn't like was the break at 3 minutes in. It just kind of stopped and everybody thought it was the end, and then it came back again. For radio play, I don't think that's such a great idea. Personally, I think you skip that break, go right into the next part. Other than that, though, I don't have anything bad to say about this song. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I could listen to it over and over again. I'd love to hear what other songs this artist has put out there. It was very melodic. I'll tell you one other thing. Maybe I would have liked to have heard is some additional harmonics or backing vocals in other. I know there were some in there, but I felt like in some other spots within the song there could have been some more backing vocals. But that's it. I love that song.
All right, Mark, I appreciate that. Thank you. Let's go to Carol, his cohort. Carol, what do you think of track number 2?
Well, I'm actually wondering whether Mark's listened to the same song that I was listening to be honest. I mean, we sometimes do differ on songs, I have to admit. I found the start of this one, I thought, oh, this is going to be a really, really good song. And then what I heard, something came in it sounded like stormtroopers coming in. And I thought, what's going on here? I mean, I found it actually, it went fast and then it went slow and then the lyrics came in. I found it was a bit bitty and all over the place, to be honest. I did like towards the end the fast drumming and, that because I love drumming, and that to me was really good. But for a song to say, oh yeah, that grabbed me straight away, I would disagree with what Mark says on this one. Personally, I think it, if they cut it down and worked on it a bit, it's got the start of your bits of it are really good. And I think if they sat down and worked it out, it could be a good song. The lyrics to me didn't make sense. Sorry, I couldn't really understand what she was singing about. But anyway, sorry, it wasn't my favorite track.
That's quite all right. That's not a problem. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate that. Let's go over to Ian, find out his thoughts. Ian, what do you think of track number 2?
Well, I'm kind of sitting somewhere in between both Mark and Carol here. I like to sit next to Carol. Yeah, I mean, the intro was lovely. And then you've got that kind of "We Will Rock You" thing kicking in behind, and it was out of time and didn't fit. And I was actually checking to make sure I had nothing else playing at the time, going, "What the hell's this?"
That's what I did. That's what I meant with the stormtroopers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like, ooh. And then that disappeared, thankfully, and the girl's vocal came in, and she's got a great voice. Really do like her voice. Do feel it was set back in the mix again. She's got such a great voice, so you want to push her up front. Not by a lot, but she was just a little bit in the back there, especially when the whole band arrangement was kicking in. Now, the word arrangement is my biggest issue with this track. Obviously, you've got the Stormtroopers at the start doing "We Will Rock You," and you've got the breakdown at about 3 minutes that Mark mentioned as well. Found that totally unnecessary. I mean, something like a stop in there, just into that sort of section would have worked fine without that long fade in and everything like that. It just didn't work. It threw me. I mean, you've got a good song here. It doesn't hurt to be a bit conventional sometimes to make it easier on the listener. Because ultimately, when you're writing a song and arranging a track, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get a reaction, a positive reaction from your listener. And if people are just sort of being brought right down and going, "Oh, is that it? Oh no, what's this? Oh, this is not. This doesn't feel right." Work on that arrangement, because that's what it was to me. It was like, no, this is wrong. There was some really nice drumming going on. There was some really nice performances going on. It was the edge on the guitar, as everyone was saying in the chat room. I totally agree with that. But that's not bad. I mean, dynamically, between that really minimal verse where you just had the sort of acoustic and the sort of slightly overdriven electric playing with the vocal. Sounded nice, and as that went on, they were bringing a few elements of strings in, and the build on that was nice, and that kick straight into the full arrangement was good. There is some really, really good stuff. I'm going to take a stab at the title of this, 1,000 Strangers. Yeah.
Very close.
Very close. There we go. Lyrically, I thought it was great. I mean, this just needs pulling into a more cohesive, commercial, for the want of a better word of saying it, arrangement.
All right. I appreciate that, Ian. Thank you. In the chat room, one comment. That song would have been very difficult to strip to. Out of the blue, I just read them. The name of that track is indeed very close to what Ian said. It's called Anthem to 1,000 Strangers by a group called Paradis, and we appreciate their sending that track to Music Scene Investigation. You want to get your tracks on the show, all you got to do is go to MusicSceneInvestigation.com, hit Submit a Song, follow the instructions. It's all laid out right there for you. Very simple to do. All right, gentlemen and lady, we have one more song to go through today, so let's go ahead and take a listen to track number 3 on today's Music Scene Investigation. This is track number 3. Enjoy.
You think you knew me? You couldn't have, I didn't know me. And if you'd known me, you wouldn't give me the time of day. I took a flower, a yellow tulip from the altar. In my blindness, I became the very thing I was protecting her from. I took the chains that held me bound so many years. I dragged it down with selfishness and fear. Yet you never let go. That stormy night, my words cut through her heart just like a knife. Through her tears I saw the monster I'd become. I had lost all control. Keep us apart. The Father's love resides inside our hearts. It's stronger than we ever could have known. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. Go ahead and try. You try to separate us, but you fail. Of the past are dead and gone. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. No, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world.
That is track number 3 on today's music scene investigation. Let's head over to Carol first, find out what she thought. Carol, your take on track number 3.
Oh, well, I like this song. Definitely. This was the best track for me of the evening. I thought it rocked. Obviously, I know Ian's going to criticize a lot of it that went on. But it's one of those songs that I thought, yes, I could headbang to this, because I used to be a headbanger. I keep saying this to Mark. He still doesn't believe me. I thought when the riff started at the beginning, I thought, oh no, here we go, classic Smoke on the Water riff going. But no, it got into it, and it got me straight away. And I love the guy's voice. I think fantastic. There was just a little bit, I thought he got drowned out when the other voices came in, when they were harmonizing, and I think I'd like to have heard him a bit more at the front. But oh my God, he's got a great voice. That guy can sing. Not really much I can criticize about it, except I think it's a bit too long for a radio rotations track. It needs to be cut down. As much as I love all the instruments at the end, it still needs to be cut down. I think it was 4 minutes. Let me have it. 4 minutes 45, far too long for a radio track. But loved it. Great song.
All right.
I'd like to hear more from this. Yep. Yep.
Makes sense. I appreciate that, Carol. Thank you very much. Let's go over to Ian, find out what his take on track number 3 was. Ian, what do you think?
It was dirty. It was sleazy. It was gritty. I loved it. Pretty much. No, I mean, this is a good song. I mean, I love that sort of almost bordering on punk feel to it. I mean, the guitar sounds were dirty. They really were dirty, and they worked for this track. Drum sound was good. Maybe drums are a touch too prominent. I mean, there's talk in the guys in the chat room, a real drummer. I think it was a real drummer, and I think if that's the case, he's playing grooved, but he played it a little bit safe in places. Really nice use of stops in this. Well, they sort of them steps, but they became a bit of a pregnant pause after a while. You kind of knew what was going to come back in. And what I would have liked to have heard was that sort of Who or John Bonham style quick roll or something a bit fancy going on in there, just during that little break from the drummer. That would have really sort of topped this off for me, really. Strong dynamics, as I said, with the use of stops. Carol's right, the vocals did drop out when the whole band came in. The vocals were sat really nicely at the start of the song, and it's like the engineer forgot to ride the vocal on that part when the band came in, because they were set perfectly for the start of the track, and then they just got lost. I mean, I think the biggest problem with this track was the mix, because the bass player plays a bass, and this bass had no bottom end. I know what they were going for, that sort of toppy, twangy, metallic sound that a lot of rock bands go for, but they just stripped all the warmth out of that, and I just wanted to hear it driving a bit more with that sort of real grinding bottom end, and that was sadly missing. You could hear the bass fine, it was just the EQ was wrong. Yeah, I mean, good lead solo. Again, that was a little bit low in the mix for my liking. I always figure that a lead guitar should sit around the same level as the lead vocal. We know for a fact that the lead vocal was slightly low in the sort of heavier parts, so was the lead guitar. So it's kind of a consistent problem there. Otherwise, I did love it. Good use of lyrics. The guy's voice could have been a bit more angsty towards the end, build that up a little bit. Great voice, don't get me wrong, and really good performance on this track. But I think this is one of these bands that if you saw him live, he'd be giving it 200%, and on this he's giving it 150%.
All right. Okay, Ian, I appreciate that. Let's find out what Mark thought. Mark, what's your take on track number 3?
Unfortunately, I didn't get to hear everything Ian said, so I do apologize if I...
It was wicked.
It was awesome, I know, because it came from your mouth. But, yeah, I like the song. I mean, I love a good rock song. That was definitely a good rock song. It's got a lot of potential. I did hear the part about Ian's comments on the bass. I heard the bass, but it wasn't a full mix for me. It was very, very tinnish, very a lot of treble and not a whole lot of bottom end to it. And I would have liked to have had more. I understand when to what they were trying to get there, that the feel, the sound they're trying to get, but it still needs some more bottom end on that, my opinion. The singer, good voice. I think he needs to put a little bit more oomph into that, a little more heart, a little more like he really means it.
Angst.
Thank you. He just sounded like he was there to sing, and that was it. He didn't sound like he was really into the song. Pinky says, "I like a big bottom." Yeah.
well, I thought he was into it. I definitely. He's got a great voice. He sent me.
Yeah. He sent you, right? I know you're disagree with Mark today because you've got Ian over there. Yeah, I someone else I think it was Overlook in the chat room said the same thing. That the voice just seemed kind of. I think he said it was half committed, and yes, that's what it sounded like to me. Half committed. Put a little more commitment into what you're singing there. Make it sound like this is a real rock tune, and I would have enjoyed it a lot more. But it was a good song.
I would like to just butt in, actually. Overlook made a very good point that I wanted to bring up. That stop into that half-time feel before the riff kicked back in, I just thought that was a really nice touch. Unexpected, but worked, especially with all the big ooh harmonies in the background and everything like that. So I just wanted to comment on that bit as well.
All right. Well, I appreciate your thoughts, everyone. Let me introduce that track to everybody. The name of that track is called He Works Through Her by The Seventh Green. The Seventh Green with He Works Through Her. We appreciate their sending that track into Music Scene Investigation. Want to invite everyone to be a witness. Fill out your witness statement. Go to the link we've thrown in the chat room, musicscene.com/investigation. I didn't say that URL right, did I?
musicsceneinvestigation.com/witness.
That's the one. So go ahead and go there, fill out the witness statement. We'll provide the results of those during next week's broadcast. All right, lady and gentlemen, we have a task ahead of you right now. Every panel has to go through your time to select a song of the week. I'll let you discuss it and let me know what you think.
Right. Well, for me, I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna be the decisive one this week. There is no real contest for me. It is number 3. Now, I love number 2. I think she's got a great voice. The biggest letdown on that for me was the arrangement, and number 3 nailed the arrangement. And the biggest letdown on number 1 for me, besides the mix, was the fact that there was no dynamic range in there from the point of view of moving in and out of segments versus to choruses, etc. Whereas number 3 nailed that every time with a good use of stops, a good use of half time. So really, for me, number 3 wins over because it's got all the elements I was looking for tonight.
All right, Mark, Carol?
I'll go next. I'll butt in before Mark does. I like to do this to him. Yeah, Ian's right. Number 1, it was a very safe song. It was nice. I thought it was melodic, very, nice, listenable. But number 2, I found far too bitty, and I really didn't like the singer's voice on that one. Number 3 is a definite for me. I think the guy has got great potential. I loved his voice. I loved the arrangements on that. And I would listen to that again, and I'm going to look that band up afterwards.
All right.
3 for me.
Okay, Mark?
Well, my vote doesn't count.
Actually, it really does.
Oh, poor Mark.
No, that's fine. I think that mix-wise and performance-wise, I think that I preferred number 2. Songwriting, I preferred number 3. I think that as much as I love a good rock tune, number 2 was the one that really maybe say, hey, I'm really digging this throughout the whole song. And so I would have gone for number 2, personally.
All right, that makes perfect sense. I appreciate all your thoughts on that, but
you're entitled with your opinion.
You're kind of right, Mark. Your vote didn't count.
You're right. It's okay.
It's just the way it goes.
I knew that Carol would disagree with if I had said number 3, Carol would have said number 2.
No, I wouldn't. No, There's no way. We did say, Ian and I did say at the start of the show, we would stick together. Us Brits have to stick together.
There you go. And that's
They sounded like a British band as well, I think.
I don't know. All right, so there you have it. The Seventh Green with He Works Through Her is our song of the week for this week on Music Scene Investigation. Mark, Carol, great having you on the panel. Carol, I think you're going to be back with us again next week, aren't you?
I am, and hopefully my bandwidth will be a bit better. The audio, I can see it now. It looks very wishy-washy. Maybe I'll use my other computer. It might work a bit better. So, yes, I'm definitely coming back next week if you'll have me.
Absolutely. Looking forward to that. Mark, as always, great to have you on as well. Hey, by the way, congratulations.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome. I mean, use it wisely. That's what I always say, and I certainly hope you don't forget your friends here in the rest of the world as well. I mean, after winning almost $500 million, a little over $500 million in the Powerball lottery, I wasn't.
Am I supposed to know about this?
Carol yet? No,
I wasn't supposed to let that out of the bag. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I drove all the way up to what was it? Somewhere north of Tampa. Yeah, to buy a lottery ticket, and then drove all the way back home. Yeah,
I heard it was in Florida. I naturally assumed it was you.
Absolutely, yeah. I assumed it was too. I'm still assuming it is. My bank account will set me straight, though.
There you go. That's true. That's very true.
I wish it was. That would be awesome if it was. I put the lot on the other week, and I messaged Mark and I said, "Oh, we didn't quite win enough for that office on Hollywood Boulevard in Florida. I won $24, so we need a little bit more. A few more noughts would be great."
Hey, Rich, do I have time to say one thing?
Sure you do, Mark. Go right ahead.
Two quick things, because my son, he's also a fan of the show. He's actually listening out there, and he asked me if I would.
Know.
Yeah, he asked me if I would give him a hello, and also he just wanted to say he wanted me to mention his great baseball season that he had this season. His team came in second place. He got a really great trophy. He did great. Had 4 perfect bunts for the season. Awesome. So I got that out of the way. Congratulations, Noah, on a great season. The other thing I just really want to mention really quickly in relation to Butterflies Radio. Twitter Tuesday Live gets over 25,000 listeners a week right now. We're looking for some marketing and or sponsorship. In the marketing side of things, I'm looking to barter with someone who might be interested in doing some marketing for us or in return for some airtime on Twitter Tuesday Live. You get some good exposure worldwide. If you're interested, give me a shout. You can email me at mark@butterfliesradio.com.
All right, great. I hope somebody responds to you there, Mark. That would be a great thing to see happen for you guys down there.
Thank you.
And I want to thank everybody for being with us today on Music Scene Investigation. I'd like to invite you back next week as well. We'll do it all over again with 3 new songs, and who knows, one of them could be yours. All you have to do is submit it over at MusicSceneInvestigation.com. Now I'm going to play out with this week's Song of the Week by the Seventh Green. He Works Through Her right here on MSI.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
You think you knew me? You couldn't have, I didn't know me. And if you'd known me, you wouldn't give me the time of day. I took a flower, a yellow tulip from the altar. In my blindness, I became the very thing I was protecting her from. I took the chains that held me bound so many years. I dragged it down with selfishness and fear. Yet she that stormy night. My words cut through her heart just like a knife. Through her tears I saw the monster I'd become. I had lost all control. Consumed by sorrow, I felt the end was near. Based on my actions, my punishment was clear. Then I looked up, and to my surprise, I saw the glory and forgiveness of the Father's love through her eyes. Now nothing can keep us apart. The Father's love resides inside our hearts. It's stronger than we ever could have known. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. Go ahead and try. You try to separate us, but you fail. The demons of the past are dead and gone. And I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world. No, I wouldn't trade it for anything. I wouldn't trade it for anything in this world.